everyone.
Hey, welcome back.
To part 2 of the question and answers.
Yes.
Whatevers. I was going to say series, and it's like a series of 2. But I guess we have been doing them for a long time, though. So it's kind of like a series.
We have. We do, what, on average, 2 Q&As a year?
I think so. We should do more, but we don't. We try to do more.
We talk about doing more.
I know. All the time. We do. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much for joining us and
for submitting your questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know there are a lot of places for you to get answers out there. A lot of what we would consider and do consider really crazy perceptions or thoughts or perspectives. That was the word I was going for. A lot of fear out there, a lot of answers that are just based in fear and not reality. And this should not be as scary as some people make it. So we're really glad you tuned in here with us and ask us.
It shouldn't be as scary, and it should be more respected than it is.
Agreed. Yes, it's not, paranormal is not just entertainment. If we're going, even any part of spirituality is not just entertainment. It's a great way to bypass, though. You want to bypass life? Woo! Paranormal is how you do it.
That is a good way to do it. Well, not a good way to do it, but an effective way to do it.
Effective, yes.
It is an effective way for sure.
Yes. All right. So we did a clearing recently. I'm not sure when it goes out. Is it like it might be out? It might have been the one from last week.
I think so.
I believe so. Maybe it is going out. We have so many that we have ready that sometimes I forget. And a question that was asked in that video, we didn't answer in the video. We said that we would answer it here. So we're going to start with that one.
Yep.
And it's about mirrors and portals. Do mirrors facing each other or too many mirrors in a home create portals? Mari-Lyn, what do you think?
No.
No.
No, they don't.
No. I don't know where that came from other than some old Disney movies.
I think some old movie went, ooh, this would be cool.
Yes. Yes.
Let's make this happen.
Yes. And
but no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And another thing is as well, I do think, I don't know if it's still practiced today or not, but there are parts of like earth magic, witchcraft, that sort of thing that will use a mirror for their purposes. So yeah, that's the only thing I can say. So if you just have mirrors in the home, whether you have paranormal activity or not, it's not going to just create out of nowhere. And really, there's nothing you can do. You can even stand in front of a mirror and ask for a portal to come and set that intention and whatever. And I don't want anyone to do that. But that
no, please don't, because that one time, just to prove Pam wrong.
Yes, yes. And something could not come through the mirror. That's another thing, that things come through the mirror and they're not coming through the mirror.
Right. Snow White was a movie. Snow White was made up.
Yeah.
Not true.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah.
So no, they don't. Please rest assured that every time you put the mirror up to look at the back of your hair, you know, you look through the other mirror to look at the back, you're not creating a portal. Or if you have a lot of mirrors up. There are people who, I've done clearings where they have a lot of portals in their home, or portals, pardon me, a lot of mirrors in their home, and they want me to clear them, so I do. Yeah.
Well, they can hold energy just like all of our other furniture.
Yes. Yes. So when someone's really afraid of that and we go in to clear their home, we always go ahead and just clear the mirrors because why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So rest assured, you're okay if you have mirrors in your home. And if the mirrors even facing each other, whatever, you're
Mm-hmm.
okay. You are perfectly fine. All right. So, Mari-Lyn,
Yes, ma'am.
should we go ahead and start this? Now, if we skip one, it's not on purpose. Please let us know in the comments, like after this, like, I asked a question and you didn't answer it. And we're going to apologize now. It's not on purpose. Sometimes things happen.
Yep.
So,
yep.
All right.
And if you hear us answering a question in this one that we answered in the first one, sorry
about that too. We did our best, or we're doing our best to
hope
separate.
We're not doing that, but
yes,
we have to be human. So
yes, here we are.
yes.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. Do you want me to read the first one or do you want to read it?
You go right ahead.
All right. How to clear my room. Since I spend a lot of time in it, being depressed, angry, sad, etc., and I feel that I created this negative energy, don't know how to make it feel better.
This is actually a big question.
It's a huge question, and it's not one that has got a simple answer to it.
So to truly clear your room, there are a few things that have to come together. First, you personally have to be at a higher vibration. So if you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling angry, if you're having all of those, which all of us do because we're human.
Yes.
It's time to start healing. And to me, this comment is sort of reaching out saying, help, I need help. And it's more than just your room.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a class on our website that's just for, what do we call it? What is the name of it? Do you remember? Hygiene. Something hygiene.
Oh my gosh. House hygiene.
House hygiene. That would be
I think it's called house hygiene.
Yes, that's a good, because we don't just, it's not just about using sage for us or whatever. There's a process to it.
It is a process. Mm-hmm.
And so doing that here is not conducive to, or telling you how to do that here. Everyone is different. Everyone's going to do it different. That's why we don't do videos on it.
And you can't just hear it and know how to do it.
Yeah.
This is something that has to be learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you are in the midst of some irregulatory emotions, you have trauma coming up, you have wounding, etc., which we all do, but it's coming up. Just clearing your space is not going to help. Your space is going to go right back down to that low vibration again. So please reach out, whether it's to us for healings or to someone else for healings. Starting that process would be really beneficial for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can keep yourself clear, keep your space clear, and that's really how you would do that. So hope that answered your question without I'm sure you're probably throwing something at the TV or your phone or whatever, saying, damn it, I just want a simple answer. Unfortunately, it's not a simple answer. That's part of why, and okay, here's me chatterboxing here, but one of the reasons that your house, you could clear your house. We've gone in, cleared homes, and it doesn't seem to stick. And I'll say that sort of air quotes, like it didn't stick. Something happened. It's not the house at that point. It's you needing healing, needing to learn how to control your own emotions, how whatever your wounding is, that's what needs to be done at that point. If it continues. So yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Rooster. I think we
answered this
that
one.
question.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Rooster. We're not answering again. All right. Here's one. When we pass, can we choose to stay in the spiritual realm, or do we have to keep coming and living human lives? I think we might have answered this one. or one like it. No, you don't have to. You can stay in the higher realms.
Yeah, always a choice. Always a choice.
Free will is always ours. Yeah, we just
I
choose
will
to come
say,
down and have more.
from what I've, from the wisdom that I've gained through spirit, is that if we choose to stay in the spiritual realm, we're choosing it to be of service in a different way.
Yes.
We're not just like bumming out at the beach.
Right, right. Although you can take some time out and do that.
Sure. But that's not our,
No.
that wouldn't be like the choice for the duration of our existence.
No, and we want to keep coming back. I know when we're here, oh my gosh, the pain and the hurt and the sorrow and all of that stuff that comes with it seems so overwhelming, but it's all for a reason. Is to evolve, is to heal and evolve, heal and evolve. So Fred always says to me, when things are going well, you're not learning nothing. So you're not learning when things are well. You learn when things aren't going to your liking. When you have those stumbles and those falls, that's when the real learning happens. That's why we come here. So nope, you don't have to, but more than likely you will come again, Kristen. Yep. sorry to tell you. You will. Yes. All right. So I don't know if we answered this one or not. When my grandfather was terminal with cancer, he said, "I've been there. It's beautiful. And I remember the way back. I know how to come back." Can healed spirits return to look over their loved ones? Yes, they do it all the time.
Absolutely.
Or do they never return until they're ready to begin a new lifetime? My children and boyfriend all saw my grandfather in his home years after he had passed. He seemed to visit while we sleep. That's a very common time to visit, when healed spirits visit. Well, even non-healed spirits come. We are, yes, we are out of our ego at that point, and we can receive and accept. So yeah, they come through our dreams a lot, or at that moment when you just sort of wake up and your brain hasn't engaged yet, you'll see things, you'll hear things, and it doesn't last very long, and poof, our ego flies in and things start changing. We become human real quick. So
real quick.
Yes. Hopefully that answered. Did that answer it, do you think, Mari-Lyn?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Oh, I'm gonna leave this next one for you. It's a goodie.
Why do we have to learn lessons? Do we ever graduate spiritually?
Not really. Yes and no. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, you want me to continue? So we have to learn them to evolve. That's how we look. This is like school. We learn from our experiences. We learn, again, we don't learn when everything's going well. We learn when we fall on our face. We learn when there are roadblocks. We learn when something comes into our life that we need to figure out and understand. That's us evolving, which is a really good way to look at lessons. I learned,
And
I get to evolve.
the lessons we learn around one particular wound, I'm just going to throw out a big one: codependency.
Ouch. Yep.
There's not just one lesson to learn.
No, there's a lot.
There's so much to learn from different perspectives and different angles and different depths.
Yes.
You might come into life one time to be a codependent person, but you might come in to another lifetime to be the person who somebody tries to be codependent with.
Or you come in a different type of codependent. If you're going to come in as a narcissist, you're going to come in as a selfish person, you're going to come in all the different facets of codependency. You're going to
Might come in as an addict.
Yes, yes. So all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And no, even ascended masters, your council, all these higher beings, we're all still learning. That's what we do. We have people watching over us as we learn our lessons because that helps them learn too. So the higher the being, they're above my pay grade. But yes, we never stop learning. We never stop learning. And this planet is a learning planet. So yeah, we're here to do that and know that we never stop. But like ascended masters, at some point they don't come in anymore. They've decided to stay and help us through our stuff. And it's stuff they need to learn. Plus helping people is such a beautiful way to learn yourself.
Absolutely.
Hope that answered it. All right. Another one.
Let's see.
Second question, to piggyback on the question below on free will. Did we answer another one? Must have been before. If we have a spiritual contract before entering this lifetime, did we do this one already?
I don't think so.
A predetermined outcome of what's best for our highest self. What does free will detour us off the path and what's meant for us? If it's already decided. Oh, I know where you're going. Okay. Yeah, no, this is a great question. Free will allows us to speak it, but never obtain the desired outcome. Is this chasing? I probably presented this question wrong. No, you didn't. But is there a way to learn, to lean into what's truly meant for us? Let's just stay focused on things we're here to learn. Learn for our higher self.
This is not a simple question.
And it's beautiful. And I am so thankful.
Fabulous.
And I'm going to let Mari-Lyn start because I've been yammering a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Gorgeous.
Oh my goodness.
Gorgeous. Beautiful question. Beautiful.
So
multifaceted. So
boy. So
to this one.
We make a contract before we come into this life. The contract is that we have this predetermined outcome. And yet we have free will.
Yep.
That free will can keep us from reaching that predetermined outcome.
Yes.
Now, with that said, we will have opportunity after opportunity after opportunity.
After lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Even.
Well, yes.
Oh, but you're just
but in one lifetime. Yep. In one lifetime, we will have so many opportunities to go down the path that will take us to that outcome. That's a huge part of the free will piece. Is there's not just yes or no.
Right.
You choose no. There's always, always.
Now, I will say, if I can interrupt real quick.
Yes.
There are few things that are very set in stone. You can contract, when you contract with the parents that you have, that's pretty much set in stone. They're the ones that you're going to be born to. However, when they're, and I'm sorry if I don't want this to trigger anyone, but when there is, like if you miscarry, it's a woman, she's pregnant and she miscarries. Sometimes that's the soul that goes, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And they hop out and a miscarriage happens. So your free will is really at all times, but there are some set in stone things. There are few things, but they are set. You are. So my children wanted to have me as the mother, my husband as the father. However, we could have divorced, something could have happened. So there's still a lot of free will within that, but I hope that makes sense. But there are still those things that are sort of set. What's coming to mind now is like a physician, just for whatever reason, that's what they're bringing me. If your purpose or part of, if you contract to be a doctor, a physician in this lifetime, that's going to happen. However, what you do with that is all in your free will, and how well you do in school, how you do this or that. So there are some things that are contracted, black and white, it's going to happen. But most things, it's free will. Our lessons that we learn, that's all about free will. The lessons that you learn. So yes, some things are absolutely happening.
Yeah, I want to add, if we happen to know what our contract is and what that predetermined outcome is, we have to be very careful, because it's probably not going to look like we think it's going to look like.
No.
Rarely
Right.
does it.
Yes. So there was another question in there that you had, though. What was it? Oh,
Yeah, it was about staying focused on the things
Yeah.
we're here to learn for our highest self. And
yes.
yes, there is a way to
Yes.
to do that.
Yes. And it's really healing, staying in love. When you are in what we call receiving mode, when you are feeling, and you can feel in your heart space, even if things aren't going well, let's say you're depressed or something is happening, trust yourself that you really do know which way to go. And that's also for your highest good. We talk about that too. We don't just manifest, or all the beautiful fun, the sun, whatever. We manifest all the other stuff too. It's all meant to happen. So as long as you aren't running away from your problems, your issues, your lessons, your wounding, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And even running away is part of the lesson too.
It is.
I'm sure I just
It is.
the person. Doc 1721.
Yeah, I think really the easiest way to stay focused is healing.
Yep.
Learning how to be grounded, learning how to be present.
Yep.
And stepping into that spiritual connection of love.
Yes.
That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes. Yes, and you're with chasing. So I just have to say this again. Doc 1721, was that it?
Yeah.
We all know when we're chasing and when it's what we're supposed to do. Like, okay, this is the path, I'm going down this path. How do you know you're not just chasing? Take a moment and feel it. You know it. Are you giving up just because you haven't reached it yet? You feel like you chase from places of wounding.
Yeah, so the chasing piece, free will allows us to seek it but never obtain the desired outcome. Is this chasing?
It's not going to look the way you expect.
Yeah. That's almost a loaded question.
It's very loaded. It's very loaded.
Oof. If we're seeking something that is not in our highest good, that our ego tells us we need, that's chasing.
Yes.
If we're trying to find something, seeking, and we haven't been able to find exactly what that is, that's exploration.
That's beautiful. Yes.
That's exploration.
Yes.
And Pam I agree 100%. Feel it.
Feel it.
And you will know.
Yes. This is something that, and this is honest from me, this is something that happens with me because my career has taken so many dips and turns, and oh my gosh. So that comes up a lot, where I will sit and I'll say, oh my God, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really, come on, Fred, come on, spirit, somebody tell me something. Mari-Lyn can tell you because I go through it all the time. How I know that I'm going in the right direction is when I stop and I take a breath and I start questioning, and then I let go and the answer comes. It's that feel, it's that draw. Maybe I have to change something I'm doing. Maybe it's, sometimes it's a door closed and spirit saying, okay, you need to take a left. Listen to yourself. Listen to what spirit is saying. You're not going to hear it out here. People expect you to hear it out here, or you're going to see it. You're going to see this exact path. That's not the way it works. It really isn't.
No.
It's no. And give up the thought of what you expect it to look like, because it's not going to look like that. There have been many times, I'm going to say this out of my own embarrassment. I have been standing right in the middle of what I've been asking for, but I expected it to look different. And so I'm like, what the hell? When am I going to get that thing I've been working so hard for? And then I hear this very quiet voice that says, you're standing in it. This is what you asked for. This is what you've been working for. And so it's me just changing the way I see it and go, oh, you're right. I do have it. This is what I've been asking for. I just wanted it or expected it to look differently. So I don't know if that answered the question, but I don't know.
I think so.
Yes. And just as a whatever, we have some wonderful practitioners with TCS that help people sort of weed out and sort out those types of feelings. And how do we really listen to spirit? How do we know we're on that path? How do we see it? How do we live it? How do we roll through it? So I'm just going to throw that out there and I'll leave it. Also, yes, also Fred's Meds on the Conscious Spirit podcast channel, the YouTube channel. There every week is a new Fred's Med. They're wonderful healing meditations. They bring clarity. They do all sorts of things. If you start doing those, I have all of my students and clients, certainly my students. If you want to be a student of mine, if you want to learn to be a healer, you have to get healed. We help you with that. And you have to listen to those meditations.
I have all my clients do it.
Yeah. They're amazing. So if you want to start that journey, that would be a great journey to start learning how to hear yourself, hear spirit within you.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do that.
Yeah. Really great way.
All right. So thank you, Doc 1721. I hope that answered your question. Questions, plural. Yes.
Ooh. All right. When you talk about earth plane and the spiritual plane and dimensions, and how the earth plane and spirit plane are very close to each other, when it comes to that, how spirits communicate with us, is there a difference in how easy it is for them to be able to speak? I'm paraphrasing.
Okay. It's not easy, but yeah, go ahead.
So how easy is it for them to be able to have the word hello come out to us and us hear it clearly? Or can it come out sounding like a hiss or a growl because they don't have enough energy to push it out that clearly?
Sure.
Yes, but it doesn't necessarily mean they don't have the energy.
Right. It could, but it doesn't always. Yeah, that's not
Right.
Yeah.
Not a definitive.
Right.
And can that happen to a psychic medium as well?
Well, yes, but we don't need them to. There's the difference right there. With a medium, we rarely ever hear things out, on the regular 3D plane. That's not the way we communicate. We communicate with them because we match their vibration to be able to hear them. So yes, everything is right on top of each other. all of our, like every life, if here's something that I don't think I mentioned in the last Q&A, but I'm just gonna say it real quick and then we'll continue on. If you leave this lifetime and there's something that you need to learn in, let's say, I don't know, in 400 BC or whatever, you can go to that lifetime and learn that. So they're all happening at the same time. We're just not in every lifetime at the same time. Because we talked about that last.
That's right. There was
Yes.
was that
and
question.
afterwards I went, oh, I didn't say that we can go to the past or the future if we want to. So, all right.
After we've left this body.
After we've left this body, yes. So
so information coming through the dimensions clearly, like whether it's being heard with the human ear or it's being picked up on equipment, the chances of it being accurate are slim.
So yes, when you ask, could you hear it as a hiss or a growl? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or it sounds like the mice from Cinderella.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it does. Yeah.
And it can also be, say there's a sentence being said, but the human only hears every third word.
Yes.
Well, that changes the meaning of the sentence.
Yes, it does.
A lot. Because the energies just don't match between the dimensions unless you happen to be someone who can match that vibration.
Yes. And here's another thing. When you're talking about psychics and mediums, the word medium is getting thrown around so much these days, it makes me crazy because lot of the people that we see on YouTube, and people send us clips all the time and this and that and the other, they're not what I would consider to be a real medium. One of the things that, well, what makes you a medium is communication, is you're communicating. And it's about us being in the right vibration, not them. We tend to think it's their problem that they can't speak to us, that it's their problem, that they're doing something that they need to be changing because the almighty human here can't get it. It's the other way around. We need to be in tune to them to speak and to communicate and get all the information. Yes. And then even sometimes they don't always know how to communicate all the time, especially if they're newer.
True.
They don't always. Will struggle with that. If they've been around a while, they've learned. But yeah, a lot of variables here, but it's very rare to
a lot of variables
like that. And it's not all about hearing. It's not all about seeing. There's a lot about feeling, about knowing, about understanding the signs. There is so much that goes into spirit communication that is just not talked about. Yeah.
The question goes on to ask about spirit boxes and what you hear through it, which I mentioned, equipment. Just because a sound comes out of a piece of equipment doesn't mean that it's a paranormal sound.
Nope.
Energy, absolutely.
Yeah.
Radio frequency, possibly, sure. There's all kinds of reasons for sounds to come out of those spirit boxes or those different equipments.
When we used to do the ghost POVs, and there'd be whatever the ghost hunters were using those, but we would just die laughing at. It's like, that's not what the spirit's trying to say. Because they're coming up with all kinds of, and then they would take one word and the human would put all of this meaning to this one.
Oh, they run with it. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes. They made it fit the narrative they wanted to believe in.
Assuming, well, I'm not going to go on about assuming, but
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, good question.
Mhm.
There's really a lot more to say about that, but you know, we really want to get to everybody's question.
Well, I'm trying to stay on topic because I'm really bad about going off topic. So yes. So thank you for the question.
For that great question.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Okay.
Did we answer this one? This one seems familiar. Or maybe one like it.
I don't think we answered it.
Okay. Well, we might be answering it again.
Okay.
What have mediums debated on before? I know you both have mentioned whether plants still have a spiritual life after being cut like flowers in a vase or something. I don't remember that, but if you said we said it.
I kind of do, and I kind of think it was me.
Okay. Okay.
Talking about how the energy of life is even in plants.
Right.
And even once they're cut, they still carry that energy. It's not until they have died.
Right.
That they carry energy.
Yes.
Energy.
Yes.
Not consciousness.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference between energy and consciousness.
Yes.
So plants having a spiritual life, I don't agree with that verbiage.
Right. Again, it's verbiage.
But it's verbiage.
We come across different verbiage all the time. It has energy.
It absolutely has energy. It does have the energy of life. It does, I believe, has the energy of spirit. Yeah. Mother Earth, our Earth has the energy of spirit, and she nurtures that plant life.
Yep.
And it absolutely carries that until it's dead.
Yes. Yes.
And that was only part of the question.
Okay. And I've heard a medium duo personally think they can't tell things apart because of having no training, or at least no vocalizing they've had any. Okay. They went on to say buildings can talk. I'm so sorry. No. No. So no, we've heard this theory before, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burst out like that, but no. So if you leave, I'm sure we've all been in, let's say, an abandoned building, and you go in there and it just feels dead. It's because it is. We bring life to a building. It's our feelings, our belief, our whatever we're going through. We fill a building or the home with the energy. It can hold on to that energy, certainly for a while. It'll eventually dissipate. But no, it does not. It's dead. I'm sorry. Everything has a vibration.
Yes.
Glass
and everything holds energy.
My pen has a vibration. That doesn't mean it has consciousness, as Mari-Lyn was saying earlier. Consciousness is different than energy or vibration.
Right.
Consciousness comes from having a brain, from having a spiritual connection. That's the consciousness to it. People, animals, etc.
Right.
So
my piano.
Yes.
It's made of wood.
Yes.
The keys are ivory.
Mm-hmm.
It all holds energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is my piano going to talk to you? No.
No.
It's not.
You can, however, and this may be what I don't know if they're talking about this or not, whoever they are. We've heard it before, though. You can pull a vibration off something, sure. Like if I'm sitting here in this chair, and then I get up and walk away, Mari-Lyn comes and sits in this chair, and all of a sudden she starts feeling a certain way. It's not the chair. That was what I left there.
That was Pam's energy. Yes.
So no, dead things, they are dead things. Again, it has a vibration, but it's not alive. It doesn't have a consciousness. So no.
She goes on to say, While I get the logic with communicating with trees, wood holding energy, I just think something like a house is so far removed from its original form that what's communicated with could be something else, but it's very interesting.
Yes, it is very, and you're correct. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, when we've cleared, especially like log homes, we have to clear the wood because it holds energy.
Wood
and it
holds
it longer than some other materials, but it does not itself have a voice. No.
And trees themselves do not have a consciousness.
No.
They give and receive vibration.
They are alive, and I'll say that in quotes, as are plants and so forth. And when you talk nice to them, they've done all those studies. When you talk nice to them, they grow. My dad could take a almost dead plant and all of a sudden it was just flourishing because of the love that he gave.
It's the vibration.
Yes.
Not the consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
good question.
Yeah, very good. And yes, that's exactly the type of stuff that we're fighting against here.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right.
All right. Another free will.
Oh, do you want to read it?
Yeah. As you said multiple times, as humans, we do have free will. I saw a TikTok where it was said that only humans have free will and that spirit guides and others have to listen to orders of the source and they don't have any free will. What is the truth about that? Can they freely decide the same way as we humans do or not?
Yeah, we're all souls.
Oh my goodness.
Soul has free will. Whoops. Yes. They have, so you want to, did you have something to say?
Yes, they have free will, but not the same way as we humans do because they don't have ego.
Correct.
And they are a direct extension of that source energy.
Yes, and we're all connected through our souls, not this physical body.
And certainly not our egos.
No.
Our egos is what makes free will so dangerous.
Yes. And there is no orders from source. I don't understand that. What we have, so they're not like these big rebels that, oh, dad told me to do something, so I'm gonna run and go the other do. It doesn't work that way. We humans often put ego on spirit, and spirit doesn't have ego. So we tend to think that, yeah, they're going to be mad at us, or if they get out of line, something's going to, it's not that way at all. Allow yourself, I would say to you, I don't remember the name, Katrina, something, to allow yourself to just imagine not having ego. I know that's really hard for a lot of us, but
that's really hard. That's hard. That is really hard.
Yes, no. I'm just gonna say no. Was there another question to there? Because I could go on for a while. Can they freely decide the same way we humans do or not?
It's different because they're not human.
Right.
That human ego piece.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still get stuck on the orders from source. There's just, they have such an understanding that's above what we can understand here as humans. There's just, we're all working together to make things work. And it's not really even a thought. It's just the way it is. They have a big overview. So our guys.
There's not one source up there going, right. You do this, you do this, you do this, you're banished, you're bad, you're good, you're buck.
Yes. Yes. So they don't have, like marching orders. So no. And we contract with our guides. We ask our guides So this might be part of maybe what's being asked here. I don't know. So Fred and I got together and I said, hey, will you be my guide? He was like, sure, we'll do that. Now he's an ascended master. Fred is not actually his real name, but I just gave him the name Fred. And I told him, these are my objectives. This is what I want to do in life. He has my full script. He knows, along with my higher self, along with my counsel. Everyone knows what Pam wants to do in this lifetime, lessons she wants to learn, all of that. And they use that to help me get there, to help me obtain what I want to in this lifetime, to help me move through. So
in that scenario, you would be the orders from source.
yes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good question.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And I keep pushing the wrong button and the questions keep disappearing.
And then sugar and spice again. She had a lot of questions. What you want me to start this one?
Sure. Yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on astrology? Recently, I've been a deep dive into natal charts. Because while I had written off people's quick judgment of someone based off of blah blah. So I'm not even going to go through that whole first paragraph there.
Okay.
And I'm just going to. So astrology it's like a blueprint. It's not predictive, although some people will tell you it is, but it's not predictive. It is what it is. It's like the blueprint of of this lifetime. This is who you are. It can help you with what you came to learn, what you've already learned, some of your personality traits. It can help show your wounding and your traumas. So it helps explain who you are, but what you do with that is up to you. So can it be a helpful tool? Sometimes, sure. I see it kind of like past lives. Super interesting, but it doesn't help me, like move through life. But very interesting though. I've had astrology readings and amazing. Like it's more shock than anything. It's like, wow, how did it know all of that? It's that kind
Seriously,
of thing,
right?
where it's telling you about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I've had my chart done. I've had a couple of small astrology readings, and it's like, whoa.
Yes. Yes.
How?
Yeah.
Looking at the person giving me the reading, going, I don't remember you from my childhood.
Right? How the hell did you know that?
Yeah. I didn't know you when I was going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
What I want to say,
it really tells you kind of what is.
Yes. I want to say it's like any other tool that's available to humans. It's very easy to use those too much.
Yes.
To avoid responsibility, to avoid looking at what we need to learn.
Accountability.
Accountability. It can be a great bypass.
I was just going to say that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like any of that stuff. Psychics, mediums, the paranormal, birth charts, tarot cards, any of that, those tools they can be very helpful and useful in a moment for a situation. However, when you start leaning on them and looking too much, you're bypassing what you need.
Yep.
You're bypassing your own shit, your own wounding. It's time to get some healing.
Your own life.
Yes. You're bypassing life is what you're doing. So
yeah.
Let's see the next paragraph. Of course, I could just be living life and their traumas. Oh, maybe I should finish reading the first one, because then she someone based off the lack of understanding astrology truly, like only using the big three signs instead of I've come to find some truth in analyzing people's charts. Yes, there is a lot more than just your three main. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's sort of become a tool. That's kind of you're only getting a partial picture. So doing a full birth chart, if you're going to jump in, I would do a full birth chart. And
absolutely. And people who like dabble, but don't really know or understand, they can be very judgmental of other people.
Oh boy.
Because like whatever their birth sign is, or
yes. Yes. So of course it could be just them living life and their traumas as such shaping them into who they are. And I lean towards that more than it becoming destiny or fate. Yeah. Sure. So I guess we kind of answered that before and she answered her own question. But I do wonder if someone's chart pointing them being intuitive or psychic and or mediums guarantees that they'll be something. No, it can. It depends. Some things.
Free will, baby.
Free will. Yes. Yes. So if you looked at my chart, yes, you can see that I'm meant to do what I do. I would assume. I don't know. I don't think I've looked at that piece of it, but I'm sure you could find that in there. But I could easily.
Mine does.
Yes, yours.
Mine does.
But I could easily have at any time chosen not to do this.
Yeah. And there's more factors to it too than just free will and some of these questions, man, we could go on and on.
I know, and I'm trying to stay on track here. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I think this looks like a personal question. So I'm gonna we'll go ahead and maybe look at this. I think. Okay. But we don't do personal questions with the Q&As. So we might open this up to make it a more general. So here, and I'm not saying that you're doing this. I don't know your name, but people tend to think that people have a misunderstanding of what being psychic is. And just because we're in our channels and we're talking, that doesn't mean that we all of a sudden can just know personal information. That's a whole different channel. Like the paranormal, that's a whole nother channel too. We're not in that mode to be mediums at the moment. Right. That's something certainly that we teach is that you're not open all the time. You're not constantly grabbing all kinds of information out there. So this is so I'm gonna sort of should we just read it out loud or okay. So I have a beautiful rescue dog from Crete. And her name is Kayla. We live in Iceland, somewhat off the grid in a cute cabin, very much surrounded by nature, and she seems to suffer greatly with allergies, especially in the summertime. We are together 24/7, so I sometimes wonder if her allergies are somehow related to my own energy or if it's mainly environmental. And if you have any advice from the spiritual world on that matter, I would greatly appreciate it. It's quite hard to see my beautiful animal suffer. Of course it is, and I'm so sorry. And don't hold back on honesty. Is there something I can fix? Thank you. Love from Iceland. Well, thank you from Iceland. So the first thing I would say is we have a practitioner who does animal readings, who works with animals. She's inexpensive. TCS, everydaypsychics.com. Her name is Sarah. I would honestly look to her for that. Absolutely. Animal readings is different than readings for people readings. And I was going to say from house readings, and I went, Pam, that's not nice to say. Anyway. Oh gosh. Most likely it's environmental. Allergies are environmental. They could be what the dog is eating, that sort of thing. So when we're talking about so if you're living with someone typically you're not going to give them allergies. You're not going to make them, you share energy. And so most likely what we'd see, you could see depression out of the person or depression from you, or there's sort of, what am I trying to say here? No, not allergies. That's what I'm going to say. Not allergies. Now, the paranormal, sometimes it can, because the paranormal dries out your sinuses, really makes you dehydrated. If you're living in a lot of, with paranormal activity, there can be some of that. Like my sinuses go crazy, or my skin itches, and that's sort of allergy-esque, and that will happen with the paranormal. So I'm so sorry that Kayla is having such a rough time.
Yeah, I really hope that you reach out to Sarah for healing for your Kayla. And yeah, Kayla's getting a healing. Maybe you want one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there is something environmental, I'm sure Sarah will pick up on it, or maybe you need to learn to keep your space clear or something. Who knows? Don't know.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you for asking that. All right.
Oh, all right. Speaking of the paranormal.
Yes. And this is a good question.
How do we prevent ourselves from becoming earthies? Mm-hmm. What do the other what, oh my gosh, sorry. What do the other dimensions look like? And do animals have a consciousness when they cross over?
I'm going to start with, since we just did an animal one. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Animals have consciousness. Yes. They're the closest to us in consciousness. And they have more than one life too. They can continue to come down. I am not a believer that we cross species. I don't believe that we do. People, animals, angels, we don't cross. Some people believe we do, and that's okay. But yes, they have a consciousness. They have a consciousness while they're here as well. So not just when they cross over. But again, just like people, when you cross over, your consciousness really opens up and you understand so much more than when you're here. How do you prevent yourself from becoming earthy? It's your choice to become an earthy. So knowing that should keep you from, if you don't want to be one, you're not going to be.
Just choose not to.
Just choose not to. Choose not to. When you start to leave this body, you have a choice, and you want to make sure you go to the higher realms. And you will. Most people do. If you think of, and we say this all the time, there are not that many. It seems like there are a lot of ghosts because we're always coming in contact with them, especially those of us who are in this field. But there really aren't, considering how many people die every day. It's really very few.
Aside from just knowing that you have the choice, if you have a fear of death,
yes,
heal it. Get some healing. Heal that fear. Find your own resolution about what happens when you're going to die. And that right there.
Yes.
Yeah. You won't.
Yes.
Heal the fear. And you're not going to.
And as far as what the other dimensions look like, they look very similar to the ones closest to it, and the vibrations closest to us look very similar to this. That's why ghosts will stay in a home that they lived in. You know, they don't always, and again, that's rare, but, or they think that we're in their home. That happens a lot too.
That happens. Yep, that happens.
The farther away you get,
my answer was going to be, it depends on whose eyes you're looking through.
That too, yes. Yes, yes. And the farther away you get, the higher dimensions or the lower dimensions, they start changing and looking differently.
Excuse me.
Yeah, there's no real great, I don't know how to answer that question really. What do the other dimensions look like? They look like the other dimensions. I don't know. Yes. So, all right.
This one's for you to read and answer.
Oh, could you do a video on guided meditation on how to make, initial contact with your guide? Yes. Fred's Meds on the podcast, the Conscious Spirit podcast. I do not, you're not going to go down the list of all of them and say, oh, this one says meet your guides. That's not a title. In many of them, you can meet your guides. I never put that title in. Fred is very clear about how I name them. The reason for that is if you know what's coming, you're going to block yourself from receiving it. Even if you go in there, I'm so excited, I get to meet my guides. That's a block. So there's that.
Hey.
And listen to them right off YouTube, because we do not put commercials in there. If you take it off YouTube, like you download it and listen to it later or something, there can be commercials on there and you don't want the commercial. So listen to it right off YouTube.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to out myself.
Okay.
Proof. We really do block ourselves.
Oh, okay.
The other day, I went to do a Fred's Med. I read the title. I had this preconceived notion, and I'm seriously, I said, what the fuck? That's not what I need. What I need. Turned it off. A couple hours later.
Which, you know what that means, right?
Yep.
You need that meditation.
A couple hours later, I went back, turned it on. Yes, it was what I needed.
So there's something I'd like to say there too. If you are looking at the meditations and you see one, and for some reason you're kind of drawn to that, there's something there that you need. Do not go into it with the preconceived notion of what's going to be there.
Nope.
Just allow yourself to be in that meditation and you will get what you need. I promise you.
Yes.
I promise you. And what we need is not always what we want.
No.
Right? Those are very different things.
Usually very different. Yeah.
Really allow yourself. And even though some of the meditations they'll say like an hour long, the meditation itself is like 20 minutes. That's it. The rest is just music for you to just process while the music is, after the meditation, to just be in there. Everyone has, the reason for that is everyone has a different processing time. When I'm done with the meditation, boom, I'm out and I'm here processing. Other people need that time to just sit with the music and just be in it and process. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. It just is. So that's why some of them are, I try to put more music on. When I think the earlier ones, I didn't do quite as much music as I tend to do now. Because I've had people say, I need more music. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was a great question to end on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I hope we answer. If we did not answer your question, please let us know and we will do that. Yes. I also want to say something. I've been on some other people's podcasts. I've been invited onto other people's podcasts, and there are two I'd like to talk about or just tell you about. One is The Fabric of Reality, and the other is KevJet, KevJet. So I'll put the links below. You can go listen if you want to, but that's me on those. If you have a podcast or know someone who has a podcast who would like to have us on there, please ask.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying being on other people's podcasts. It's really kind of fun.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, and another thing.
Yes.
I think I mentioned this last time too, but so we have a couple students who want to start doing videos. So we're going to let them. And it's very exciting. So you're going to see that they might bring back the ghost POV. I know you all love them.
There's whispers about that. And with those two, oh my goodness, it will be fun if that's what they choose to do.
Yes. I'll even watch them.
Yeah. I will too, at least once.
Yes. So stay tuned. We're going to have more students on our channel. You're going to see not necessarily less of Mari-Lyn and I, but less of Mari-Lyn and I.
You're going to see less of us.
Yes. And we'll still be
because
here.
sometimes it won't be every week.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's sort of a couple things going on here. One is that Mari-Lyn and I are very busy with students and clients.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have as much time. And we have students who really want to start doing this. And we are so excited. And they've been trained by us. They've been trained Fred's way. They're part of TCS. They're part of our family here. And we could not be more excited. So
yeah.
So when you start seeing that, we haven't gone anywhere.
No, we haven't.
We're just not going to be out in your face all the time. You're going to love them. And we know you'll show them all the love that they deserve. So,
yeah, it's exciting. All kinds of exciting stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Yes. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.